Alright everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Tonight I'm going to be covering the Zagon event, which this is ending in an hour, so I know this is kind of late. Been sick the last 3 days, and so I've just literally done one battle a day, and that's been it, and I haven't had a chance to actually dive deep into it like I normally do. So today we're going to be covering what the top teams are currently looking like, how they rotate, what types of characters they're using, and basically placements, ult orders, and that sort of information. So if you look at some of the top teams, typically it's going to follow a van carry, where basically you're cycling just to get van ult going. You're doing a DOT team, where basically you're stacking DOT and then bursting it with T-Hady, and then the final team is basically just straight raw damage, doing a low cost rotation. And so that's kind of what most of these top teams are going to look like. Having enough healers is important to be able to place high on this, and then if you do wish to optimize, you need to go through and basically one by one, whatever team you're going to use, give them all of your best gear, make sure they all have artifacts, attempt the fight until you're happy, switch to the next team, repeat the same thing. And so that's going to be part of the setup in order to rank this highly. So I think first I'm going to show the low cost rotation one. So I'm placing Doll here just so she'll be able to reach both of these circles. Basically what you do with her ult is you aim it in a circle here, so you could hit both the Rat King and the Bone Pile at the same time. And it's going to be the same thing with the Biomass as well as the Rat King at the same time. So this is kind of how you want it set up. If you change the order differently, then some of these characters will run towards the top, which the safe zones are basically this bottom path and then this small area past this Bone Spire. You want to avoid this middle area as much as possible, so almost all of these teams are going to be in these bottom two rows down here. So as far as the ult rotation, you want to do Starry-Eyed Aeona first, then you want Octavia, and then you want Del Carlo to be set up in this order. How the rotation is going to work is first, you're going to use Starry-Eyed Aeona. You could wait a couple of seconds, that way you could get a heal and some shields after he does his big swipe, or before he does his big swipe. Then you're going to wait until you get 8 energy. Once you get 8 energy, you're going to do Octavia, and then you're going to immediately do Del Carlo, and then from there, you're going to use Lamia ult whenever that's up, and then you're going to use Ressa ult whenever that's up. And that's the rotation. So it's going to be Starry-Eyed again, wait till 8 energy, then you're going to do Octavia, then you're going to do Del Carlo, and then once you have energy, you do Lamia, and then you do Ressa. From there, you just wait, and then you do Starry-Eyed, and you repeat. So for this one, Starry-Eyed Aeona, her shields, her healing should be enough where you could actually just ignore the biomass that the Rat King is summoning. If you do have Del Carlo up in the rotation while the biomass is doing, then by all means go ahead and aim and get that hit off. You could also, as I was saying, use Del Carlo ult to start hitting these bone spires. It doesn't matter really when you do that, but if you wanted to wait till a little bit further in when she gets more stacks of Spirit Illusion, you'll be able to get a little bit slightly higher damage if you wait till later in the fight rather than earlier in the fight. So that's pretty much how you do a rotation. I'll go ahead and show that real quick. So we'll turn on 2x speed. So basically I'm just waiting, and then he did 2 swings, whatever. Okay, so I'm just waiting till 8. So once I do 8, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do this, and then I'm just going to Lamia ult, and then once I'm ready, I'll do a Ressa ult. And then that's it. That's the whole rotation right there. So then again, I'm just going to get my Starry-Eyed, and I'm moving them to the side, basically in the dead zone, and then I'm just waiting again till I'm able to get my 8 energy. Once I have my 8 energy, then I'm going to Octavia, then I'm going to Del Carlo, Lamia, and then Ressa, and then I just wait, and then you just repeat this. That's all that you do for this rotation. Team number 2 is going to basically be the DOT team, is what I'll showcase next. So in it, you have Gilrain, you have T-Hady, Thibault, Agares, and then you also have Tina. So you can kind of replace some of these characters. So you could use Nicole instead. Thibault just works better here just because of the debuff that he gives with additional crit. The reason for Thibault over another character like Nicole is because that DOT can also crit. So if for every tick that they have, they could also crit. So that's a lot more damage at the long run rather than getting more DOT stacks on them. But first off, we'll just talk about the ult order. This is an important order, so again, we have that set up. It's kind of weird with the placement on this. if you use Thibault and try to target this, it'll immediately start moving towards the boss, so it's not as efficient to try to target with Thibault for the bonespires, and it's instead better to try to do it with Agares. But the issue with Agares is that his ultimate is very, very small hitbox on it. So you can do it, you just need to be very precise in your aim. So just take your time and aim whenever you're ready to do that. Again, it doesn't matter quite when you do this on this. So the way the rotation is going to work is first you're going to wait till 4, then you're going to do the Adina ult, then you're going to wait till 4, then you're going to do the Darcius ult, then you're going to wait till 8. You could start doing Thibault ult at 6 seconds, which I think might be better, so 6 to 8 seconds, and then basically once you have 6 Blood Moon energy, then you're going to do an Agares ult, followed immediately by a T-Hades ult. The reason why you do this is because the Agares ult inflicts the 5 stacks of continuous damage in 3 attacks, so you want to wait, so you use him, and then a split second later, then you want to do T-Hades, who will start doing her attacks, basically. The goal of that is to try to get 10 to 15 DOT stacks and effects going at the same time in order to get her burst, which is going to basically immediately trigger all of those 10 to 15 stacks twice. So that's the main purpose of doing Agares before that, because you're applying 5 more stacks on top of the basic attack ones from him. If done properly, they should all stay on the right side. If they move up towards the top, then you have to just redo them. If you also do it like this, you should be able to hit all 5 of them at the same time here, and so you should be fine. So you'll go ahead and do that. You'll wait till 4, then you'll go ahead and hit Darcius, then you just wait until you have about 6 to 8 energy. So I'll go ahead and wait till 6, and then I'll go ahead and cast this here, and then I'm going to wait until I have 6 Blood Moon. Okay, then I'm going to do Agares, followed immediately by T-Hades. And then you could see there that was 8, 15, 14 stacks basically. And then you just do this rotate. If you want to hold Darcius for a little bit later, just in case he does a bio, you can do that because you're able to hit it where it spawns as well as still hit the boss. So basically all I would do is I would try to get it aimed where I'm able to hit both at the same time. And it's very weird right there. So I'd be able to hit both at the same time. Alright, and that's pretty much the rotation. You just keep doing that over and over, and then that's the DOT rotation. So now we'll go into the third and final team, which is basically the Van Helsing carry. So the setup is going to basically be Aona in the back, it's going to be Acapella in front, then you're going to have Gilrain in front of them, then Tino is just here chilling like a villain. Then you have your boy Van Helsing. So that's the setup for that. This is basically what you're going to do every single time. Tino, basically you're never going to use his ult the whole entire round until maybe if you're in the last 4 seconds and you whatever the rotation ends up that way, but pretty much you're never going to use him. You're basically going to use Aona. You're going to wait till 3 or 4 basically when you've taken some damage, and then you're going to use her ult. Then you're going to wait till 6 Blood Moon. Then you're going to use Acapella ult. That way it takes basically 3 Blood Moons to get the ticks going, damage on them, so you want the physical damage and the crit rate on them, and then it lasts 15 seconds, so that should last the whole duration of the Blood Moon. So once you've done that, then you're just going to do Van ult, and then you just repeat that rotation every single time. The only times you need to worry about things, the Rat King summons the biomass, so Gilrain is just going to basically chill here the whole time. So when the first time the biomass is summoned, Aona ult first, and then Gilrain ult, you're just going to smack through the biomass, just target this bonespire, he'll go and smack that, and then the second rotation you'll target this upper one, he'll go through the biomass, smack that, and destroy both of them. On the third one, it depends on how much HP your team has. If you're running low, then just use Gilrain to throw that in there. If not, then just do a regular Acapella ult, and then Van ult afterwards. All how the rotation is going to work. So it's going to be the same thing. Everybody should be on this bottom half location. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. So with this setup, you aren't able to get Gilrain inside of the range. So what you're going to do is basically you're going to cast twice here, and then on the third time you're going to cast it on him. Just because Gilrain does have some self-healing, so he's able to stay alive, and so you don't have to worry about him quite as much. So I'll go ahead and cast that. I'll wait till I'm at 6 energy here. then I'll cast my Akka, and then I'm going to wait until I can cast Van, and then I'll go ahead and cast Van, and then that's it. And then you just repeat and wait till that rotation is done. Basically, the Blood Moon is over, and then you're able to continue going on and do this over and over. So there we go, I had that. Akka is almost at 6, so there's my 6, then I just wait, and then do another Van rotation. So that was pretty effective right there, as you could see. That's all you need to do. There are some different teams that you could see in here, where if you don't have some of these characters, you have some alternatives. We already talked about the Nicole one. For this team specifically, it's difficult where if you don't have Tino, you could use Piera works as well. Fairly set. It's very difficult to find an alternative comp. Most people should have all of these characters. Maybe not, like some of these might be a little bit harder, but you should have gotten a selector for Starry-Eyed if you haven't gotten her. And then both of these were banners, so this should be a fairly easy team for people to field as we go through. And you could see some of these people did fairly well with some of these team setups that they have here. So here they put Thibault on the this team basically to increase the damage that the magic dealers are dealing, and they swapped the rotation onto here instead. So again, it doesn't really matter how much you do that, but just the way that I showed you, that's the most optimal. Hopefully this helps explain how these people are doing some of these rotations on here. Again, remember to equip all of your best gear onto the team that you're doing, and to also equip the artifacts onto the characters that you're going to be using for that. So that's me signing off. I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Thanks everybody for stopping by.